But he.
We got a bag alert via Swagoo. Marcus Spears is reporting that Ravens free agent linebacker Patrick Queen told Swagoo that he plans to sign a 3-year, $41 million contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Nice.
New quarterback, new linebacker. Patrick Queen is somebody that everybody in the NFL loved and respected while he played fantastic, physical, and dominant football last year for the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, the Steelers get a nice close look at Patrick Queen a couple times last year and the years before that. And Mike Tomlin is trying to reboot, trying to change a little bit, trying to do things a little bit differently because what has been happening for the last 6-7 years, just being mediocre, is nowhere near good enough in Pittsburgh. We got a new coordinator, we got a new quarterback, and we're paying big money for an in-division rival linebacker. Are we happy about the move that Omar Khan just made? And Mark Caboli, who joined us in the first hour, said, I got my eyes on Patrick Queen.
Yes, he did.
He did say that.
That's who I'm hoping for. We need a cornerback. I guess needs still available out there if they want to do that, but Patrick Queen would be a good Pittsburgh Steeler if we were to do that. And here we are. Less than 2 hours later, Patrick Queen is now saying he has agreed to a $41 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Are you guys all the way back? What do we think, Tone Diggs? Congratulations to the Steelers.
I mean, I love it. He plays with his hair on fire every single snap. The Steelers have been looking for an inside linebacker since the accident, the injury to Shazier. And they haven't been able to fill those shoes in a long, long time. They have Landon Roberts and Cole Holcomb, who they got last year, but this is another one. They had Miles Jack wearing 16 at the end of the year last year, trying to cover guys down the field. This is huge. And
he did. I think he would even say he's
yeah. And the thing is, Queen knows how to play in the division, obviously. And you sign Ravens, get Derrick Henry, you got to fight fire with fire, baby. And this is right up the middle. Good luck, okay?
Yeah, he does have a little bit of Bob Spillane in him.
He does.
With the way.
But a lot better.
Whoa.
Block destruction. That's what Patrick Queen will do.
Yeah, he blows things up. I mean, he's
can fly. He's awesome.
He's a star player too. So Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and I think Baltimore's the same way. So I'm not saying that this is abnormal for Patrick Queen or abnormal for the AFC North, but what Artie Smith wants to do with that offense, run the ball.
Yes.
And what Patrick Queen wants to do and beat people up, that's what Steelers fans want to see. Some cities don't want that. Some cities want it to be wide open. That team he's playing against right there, the Chargers, have been on the record as saying, we want to have an exciting brand of football. We want to take shots. We want to be wide open. We want to be fast. We want to captivate the audience. We want to build an audience. In Pittsburgh, it's if you're willing to punch somebody in the face for the Steelers and you're very good at it, Pittsburgh loves you. What a perfect signing, seemingly, for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And right on kind of the theme of the week so far, going from one team to another division rival right there. So you see him twice a year. He's a winner, though. He's been a winner since college. He's on one of the greatest college teams of all time. He's gotten better, I feel like, every year in the NFL. He's one of the part of a tandem, one of the best off-ball linebacking core. So I think it's a great move. And Caboli said, Steelers want to spin kind of up to that cap. So I think it's a great move for them.
AJ, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Feels like Patrick Queen and that Baltimore Ravens defense as a whole is an old-school type defense, and obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers love that type of shit.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is Caboli gonna be happy about this? He is.
I think
his positivity is just everywhere. I feel.
So, you know me, I'm known to be optimistic. He had a nice kitchen.
Gorgeous. Very nice. Look like a brand new refrigerator.
Yeah, let's call Caboli. Let's go back to the Caboli kitchen.
Jumping for joy.
Shout out to Sagu, too. Jumped back in the saddle.
Okay.
Hey, Marcus Spears yesterday retweeted something that,
it was this.
A darn chef.
It's going to happen.
Yep.
It's going to happen. This was the same story?
Yeah. It was Patrick Queen and the Seahawks. Yeah.
So Spears had an inkling that Patrick Queen was going to sign. They
must know each other from LSU.
Yeah,
LSU.
LSU. No answer from Caboli. He's obviously writing his article about how I fucking told you so.
Funny wrinkle to this, Pat, is this season Patrick Queen came out and said that he's held a grudge with Pittsburgh and specifically Mike T, because Mike T used to yell at him on the sidelines his rookie year, you're not a Raven yet, you're not one of those guys. And it goes back to, there's a statement between the two teams, you're not a Raven until you beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're not a Pittsburgh Steeler until you beat the Ravens.
Sweet rivalry. The Steelers and the Ravens. We need that. When I was in high school, and I assume, I don't know, Diggs, you're around, and Nick, you're around a lot longer than me. I go to West Virginia, come to Indiana. Actual pep rallies when you're taking on Ravens. Like the city's having pep rallies taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Like it was done by local radio shows. Like I think Mikey and Big Bob were probably the big initiators behind that. But like City genuinely wanted to beat Baltimore in a regular season matchup 2 times. Like that's good for football. That is good for the NFL. And this adds a nice little added wrinkle to a rivalry that has been the last 20 years?
It's awesome. It feels so good.
Now, old school, I don't want to take it back, go even more history. I apologize, Tone, but like Browns were the Steelers' biggest rival. Cleveland Browns leave Cleveland, go to Baltimore. They become the Ravens. So like natural, that's still the team we hate, new city. Oh, we can hate Baltimore too. That's certainly another city that is very similar to Pittsburgh, very similar people to Pittsburgh, very similar mindset as Pittsburgh. Fuck these people. That is kind of what Pittsburgh did with Cleveland, and then when the team goes to Baltimore, they pick it up. So literally, cinch jump, the Baltimore Ravens and Steelers have been a massive rival.
Yeah, and I think it's always been a hated rivalry, but it's always been a lot of respect between the two teams and the two fan bases. Like I respect the Ravens franchise a ton. Like the other two teams in the division, it's a hate, but with no respect at all. But this one, like, there's a lot of respect between this rivalry.
None at all.
Zero.
It's one of those games you had even like been in the league as a defensive player for sure. This is one of the games, if you could, you would watch a Steelers-Ravens game. Like that's defense. I can't remember. Like, has there been like a player in his prime go from one team to the other, like in free agency or a trade or something like that?
Woodson was on both teams, but no.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, those were the early days because he was on that early 2000s Ravens defense. No,
I don't
that I
think
can
so.
think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, this feels like a huge get. Tomlin probably very pumped about. I would assume Tomlin very, 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 very pumped about this. Not only I assume Pittsburgh's pumped about this as well.
I would assume so as well. Because the one thing, like, there's a couple positions that we've been looking at: center, middle linebacker, corner, and safety. Like that. And now that they have the middle linebacker, like you can now go do other things.
Offense coordinator too. You got Artie Smith, which fits Pittsburgh.
It's all falling into place.
And Russ Wilson, $1.2 million. All we need you to do is run, play action, hit a target.
Perfect.
We're off and running.
And the defense has been optimistic and good the last few years, but they've been getting gashed in the run, which has not been a thing that we are used to. So this will help there too as well.
Well, unlike that lazy J.J. Watt, TJ's not in England dicking around.
No.
Well
Get
said.
ready.
He's working to get better. Ain't that right, AJ?
That is right. That's the first thing I thought of. Yep.
Let's get to a break. Congrats to Patrick Queen on new bat.
Hell yeah.
Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, we can feel the beat before we get to a break here.
Oh,
Nice.
Let's go back to the kitchen potentially. Ladies and gentlemen, writer for The Athletic, covering the Pittsburgh Steelers since he was born pretty much. Once again, nice little reminder to the folks that this guy once got a sandwich from Rudy Subs at 10 a.m. Didn't eat it till 8 p.m. That thing sat in his cargo shorts of his khakis all day and stayed as fresh as it did coming out of the toaster. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Boy. Hey, first hour you said, I got my eye on Patrick Queen. That'd be a good Steeler. Here we are, hour and a half later or so. Patrick Queen is now being announced as a Pittsburgh Steeler for $41 million. Everybody's pumped about this. Tone Diggs, 6 to midnight, talking about this. Been looking for a middle linebacker for a while. How do you feel about it, Kaboli? And what is your first thoughts on it all?
Oh, it's an absolute great move by Omar Khan and the Steelers. They've been looking for an inside linebacker since, the Ryan Shazier injury. And what was that, 7-8 years ago now? They've been plugging and playing left and right people, and they just haven't been able to find that guy. They moved up to get Devin Bush about 5 years ago. That didn't quite work out. And now they got a bunch of guys who are injured. Quan Alexander got hurt last year. Cole Holcomb got hurt. Now they have finally had a chance to be able to get a guy who's obviously 3 years, but hopefully longer than that. He's a younger guy. So that was a huge – I find it maybe a little bit ironic not long after Derrick Henry signs with the Baltimore Ravens. Here comes a big inside linebacker.
Yeah.
Just kind of interesting how that thing worked out right there, because obviously they're going to be running the ball.
Physical football happening in the AFC North. Patrick Queen is an old school football player.